Сними спин-группу.
Прям видно, как он летит. Че, подавай?
Проводи в ОБК врача.
Massive Ukrainian drone strikes hit multiple strategic targets in Russia. Fires broke out at Novatek's terminal in Ust-Luga port. Powerful explosions shook the Syzran oil refinery, and a transformer was damaged at Kursk nuclear power plant after a drone detonation. Additional blasts were reported across Belgorod, Tver, Leningrad, Smolensk, and Bryansk regions. Strike drones attacked one of the largest gas processing plants in Europe, the Russian Gazprom Ust-Luga. The local authorities also confirmed the attack. According to the governor of the Leningrad region, Alexander Drozdenko, air defense forces destroyed 10 Ukrainian drones over the port, but falling debris caused a large fire at the plant. Alongside official statements, local residents are posting videos showing drone strikes on the gas processing plant and hits on its infrastructure. The plant itself is located approximately 900 to 1,000 kilometers from the state border with Ukraine. The Cyber-Baroshno community analyzed photos and video materials and confirmed damage and critical destruction of the cryogenic gas condensate and gas fractionation unit, which is the heart of the complex. The Gazprom Ust-Luga complex is one of the largest gas processing plants in Europe. Its capacity allows it to process up to 45 billion cubic meters of natural gas annually, produce 13 million tons of LNG, 3.6 million tons of ethane, and 1.8 million tons of propane-butane. It is worth noting that the plant had already been attacked in January 2024 by the Security Service of Ukraine. As a result of that strike, gas condensate tanks were damaged, which led to a suspension of the technological process at the terminal. Additionally, the Ukrainian Defense Forces are carrying out attacks on other energy facilities in Russia to disrupt the production of fuel, which is actively supplied to the Russian armed forces for both armored vehicles and aviation.
Покажи в ОБК, как пройти.
And things are getting worse for Putin day by day. Satellite images show the destruction of a Druzhba oil pipeline pumping station at Unecha in Russia's Bryansk region, forcing the pipeline offline. The images were published by the Telegram channel Exilenova Plus. According to the photos, the Ukrainian strike and subsequent fire completely destroyed the pumping station building. The roof collapsed along its entire length, and several smaller technical facilities and nearby equipment were also destroyed. The latest strike was carried out by Ukrainian drones on the evening of August 21st. At the time, Robert Brovdy, commander of the Ukrainian Armed Forces Unmanned Systems Forces, reported the attack on Telegram and released video showing the damage. At the end of the day, August 21, 2025, the Unecha oil pumping station was done. Repairs underwent in 48 hours. The enemy was dealt a blow by the birds of the 14th Separate UAV Regiment, Brovdy wrote. The next day, Hungarian Foreign Minister Péter Szijjártó said the pipeline had again stopped pumping oil. At night, we received news that the Druzhba oil pipeline on the Russian-Belarusian border was attacked again, for the third time in a short period. Crude oil shipments to Hungary have once more been halted, he said. This was the second strike on the Unecha oil pumping station in August, following an earlier attack on August 12th. That strike destroyed 2 pumping stations, along with a small technical building and equipment nearby. Unecha is a key hub for transporting Russian oil to the port of Ust-Luga, which handles a large share of the country's exports, as well as for supplying crude to the Mozir oil refinery in Belarus and pumping to Slovakia and Hungary. On the night of August 18th, Ukrainian drone units working with other elements of the defense forces struck the Nikolskoye 1 oil pumping station in Russia's Tambov region. That attack also briefly halted pipeline operations before they resumed. However, according to Szijjártó, the latest strike is much more serious than the previous ones, because during the attack the Ukrainians used missiles in addition to drones. And the Novoshakhtinsk oil refinery has been burning for a 4th day, with flames spreading to nearby storage tanks. Firm's data shows the facility still engulfed in flames. Ukraine has struck repeatedly the Novoshakhtinsk oil refinery in Russia's Rostov region, one of the largest in the south. Local residents reported massive explosions and a huge fireball lighting up the night sky. The refinery was already hit multiple times this year, but this latest strike appears to have caused even greater damage. The strikes on refineries caused a huge gas problem for Russia. Trump congratulated Ukraine on Independence Day, saying the Ukrainian people have an indomitable spirit and that the country's courage inspires many. He added that the U.S. respects Ukraine's struggle, honors its sacrifices, and believes in its future as an independent state. Dear Mr. President, on behalf of the American people, I extend my congratulations and warmest wishes to you and the courageous people of Ukraine as you celebrate 34 years of independence. The people of Ukraine have an unbreakable spirit, and your country's courage inspires many. As you mark this important day, know the United States respects your fight, honors your sacrifices, and believes in your future as an independent nation. Now is the moment to bring an end to the senseless killing. The United States supports a negotiated settlement that leads to a durable, lasting peace that ends the bloodshed and safeguards Ukraine's sovereignty and dignity. God bless Ukraine. Sincerely, Donald J. Trump. Meanwhile, in Russia, military expert Igor Korochenko said it was his idea for the FBI to go after Bolton, which he voiced months ago on Russian state television. He also praised Trump, Vance, and Hegseth for not criticizing Russia's strikes against Ukraine.
Right now, U.S. federal agents are conducting a search at the home of Trump's former national security advisor, Bolton. The operation is related to a criminal investigation where the main evidence is Bolton's memoirs. They allegedly contain top-secret data. The book The Room Where It Happened, she пишется смажена. It was released in the year 2020 and contains criticism of the Trump administration's work. Trump himself then tried to ban the publication, claiming that state secrets would become available to the enemies of the United States, and even called Bolton a scoundrel. Bolton has not been arrested. He has not yet been charged, but in the United States, as they say, nothing lasts forever.
What else would I point out? Look, for several weeks now, we have been delivering massive strikes on Zelensky's infrastructure, yet not a single critical word is coming from the White House. I personally believe that Trump understands that it is necessary to allow Russia to recognize Zelensky's existing realities by military means, and this will work towards Trump's peace plan. For the Americans are now extremely interested in Russian military successes. At least Donald Trump, Vice President J. Pence, the United States Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. These are the conservative politicians in the United States of America who understand that our military successes bring a peace agreement on Ukraine closer and make Zelensky more agreeable and accepting of the realities on the ground.
This is a very good sign. As for Bolton, the former advisor to President Trump during his first term on national security, I want to remind you that right here in the studio of the program 60 Minutes, about 2.5 months ago, I clearly stated that the Federal Bureau of Investigation should conduct a series of operational activities regarding Bolton,
a dangerous person,
and urged President Trump to heed these recommendations.
It may be a coincidence, or perhaps, so to speak, a kind of goal setting, But indeed, Bolton is a person knowledgeable in the key secrets of the White House, and he committed treason. It is evident that the Federal Bureau of Investigation will charge him under this article. Treason. Измена.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.